This evening, Guyana is expected to produce over 1 million barrels of oil a year. GRDB accountant loses extradition bid. First Lady photographer talks life and business. Man kills relative during drinking spree. In the region, Jamaica's UCHENCE gang trial begins. And internationally, after one-child policy ends, China pushes women to have more babies. Greetings to our viewers in Guyana and around the world. Today is Tuesday, March the 5th, 2019, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. According to some estimates, Guyana will produce close to 1 million barrels of oil per day within the coming decade. Wendell Jeffrey tells us more in this report.
Exxon is the only one of the companies that have rented blocks in Guyana geometric waters to have declared oil finds. However, with their finds alone, Guyana is on pace to produce 1 million barrels of oil per day by 2025. This perspective was voiced by Winston Jordan, the current Minister of Finance. Jordan was speaking at the opening of a Natural Resources Association conference in Toronto, Canada. Guyana has been featured in several business and financial online journals. This fact was acknowledged by the minister, who said that over the past 4 years, Guyana's petroleum recoverable amongst the billions of barrels of oil. Minister Jordan bragged that even if someone is isolated in the jungles of Guyana, he is still aware of our best news. Jordan said, "I am certain that you have heard stories about these vast discoveries in the land of the fabled City of Gold. Experts agree that Guyana is likely to soon compete with Venezuela and Mexico for oil production. Manufacturing jobs, value-added products, agriculture, and connecting the hinterland and the coastland are some of the areas that the minister sees Guyana benefiting in from the oil revenue." Jordan said that his government will use the oil wealth to improve and expand the physical and social infrastructures of Guyana. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Ranks of the Guyana Police Force and the Prison Service earlier today conducted a search of the Lusignan prison, and the following items were found: 18 cellular phones, a SIM card, 10 phone chargers, 11 earpieces, 2 phone batteries, 3 phone cases, 12 charger heads, a mirror, a quantity of wires, 2 pairs of scissors, a quantity of construction nails, a tweezer, 6 improvised weapons, a quantity of dried cannabis, 16 lighters. This is only the latest action in a campaign by the prison service to keep contraband out of the nation's prisons. A laborer from Wales on the west bank of Demerara is now in police custody after allegedly stabbing his relative over the weekend. Esther Sober spoke to those in the community to try to make sense of what happened.
A night of drinking turned deadly for one family in the village of Wales, West Bank, Demerara. Last Saturday, 25-year-old Suraj Jailal, a cane harvester at Gaisuku, was allegedly attacked by his 25-year-old brother-in-law, Donald Grovesner. Family members and friends were gathered at the dead man's residence in Wales Sideline Dam to mourn his death. Those close to Jailal described him as a willing and caring person.
Thing happened Saturday, like 1 o'clock when I woke up. I heard my brother calling my mom, and I jump out my bed, and when I come out, he said, "You get chopped." So my father said, "Go to the station. That's the best place to go." He did go to the station, and the police, the gate was locked. They shut the gate and go in, and the police bring out the paper and give him, go to the hospital. That was like 1:30.
Jailal was subsequently taken to the hospital, where he died on Monday whilst receiving medical treatment. However, Barron noted that Grovesner and her brother had no previous grievances, as Jailal was only in relationship with the suspect's sister. Not satisfied with how her brother's case was handled, the woman further claimed that the Wales police officers were slothful in apprehending the suspect when the matter was reported last Saturday. The police station is a few houses away to where the victim and the alleged suspect resides.
When we go there, they say, come to Wales police station. When we come there, the police say, we all went all the time. We said, well, we went. My brother in a critical state. We was with him. How can we come here?
And how far is the police station from your home?
It's couple house from here. No police came. When we go, the police said, why you come so late? And what statement would I make? The other police up in the window said that he phone ringing all the time.
Channel 2 Headline News was also informed that this is not the first time that the suspect had a few brushes with the law. We were also told that it is alleged that the suspect reportedly assaulted someone within the same community. Saddened and confused by what transpired was the suspect's sister, Anne Grovesner, who expressed her sympathy to the victim's family.
Nobody expect you gonna kill somebody. And at the same time, it happened so late that nobody knew what happened. We was not there. But yeah, I'm very sorry because both sides is my loss. So I'm really sorry. I don't really know what exactly to say because maybe if I know what happened. Because until now, I didn't know. When I asked Nishal at the hospital, he said nothing to worry about. Left it like that. So me, nobody ain't saying what happened. Make this quarreling or whatever be the case.
At the time of this report, the suspect was currently in the lockups at the Wales police station. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, GRDB accountant loses extradition bid, and First Lady photographer talks life and business. But first, here are today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
Hello, baby. Yeah.
Knocked away from Young Huang.
Yo, why you gotta get away from shit credit, buddy? I bet you that you from Guyana, you actually gain, but it's not you that buy back the credit when it's done. Buy back because she from Fab 5?
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Wait. So who we putting as we Fab 5? Yours.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Welcome back. Former accountant for the Guyana Rice Development Board, Peter Ramcharan, will soon be forced to return to Guyana. Andrew Jeffrey explains why in this report.
Peter Ramcharan will have to return to Guyana to answer charges of financial fraud to the tune of millions of dollars. According to the Kaicho newspaper today, Ramcharan failed all his attempts to avoid an extradition request from the government of Guyana. Ramcharan was a former accountant with the Guyana Rice Development Board. He now lives in Canada. According to the newspapers, he will be flown in tomorrow, accompanied by Canadian border officials. He will then likely be processed at the CID headquarters, where he will be photographed and fingerprinted, and from there, he will be taken to a holding cell until he is arraigned for court. He has already been charged for the fraud in absentia. Yesterday in a court in Ottawa, Ramcharan, who was seeking refugee status, failed his last bid to be allowed to remain in Canada. He was ordered deported. Ramcharan had posted a bail bond in Canada pending the outcome of the court ruling. His money will be returned to him upon his deportation. When the coalition government came into office, an independent audit showed that the accountant allegedly breached several regulations to his personal financial benefit. Ramcharan and 6 other officials from the Guyana Rice Board were charged by the Special Organized Crime Unit. Kaicho News is reporting that under the administration of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Guyana had entered a multi-billion-dollar oil for rice arrangement. The newspaper said that millions of those dollars were reportedly siphoned off via illegal third-party arrangements. Ramcharan and other senior Rice Board officials were implicated. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. On Thursday, the Women and Gender Equality Commission presented a report to Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Barton Scotland. The report, entitled Achieve Gender Equality and Empower All Women and Girls, is a list of recommendations to improve the state of women and girls in Guyana. One of the major recommendations is paternity leave. Chairperson of the commission, Indra Prasad, explained the significance of the recommendation, saying, quote, "These are pretty new, groundbreaking, but we believe you need to start somewhere and hopefully we can engage people, get people to start having the discussion. We're hoping ultimately this can become a reality." Currently, the law only allows for mothers to take up to 3 months maternity leave, while new fathers are entitled to none. Over the weekend, the Office of the President released a beautiful portrait of First Lady Mrs. Sandra Granger, and tonight we learn more about the photo shoot as well as the man behind the camera.
A lot of views, comments, likes, shares, and I can recall seeing this one comment. Someone saying that they've never seen the First Lady in this kind of light. Be photograph.
On Sunday, the Ministry of the Presidency released a portrait of First Lady Miss Sandra Granger. The release was greeted with a flurry of positivity from the general public. Now, the man behind the camera, Aubrey Odell, describes the photo shoot and how it came to be.
Working with the First Lady was amazing. Was amazing. As a subject matter, she's pretty amazing. And she seems very comfortable working with you. And I had any troubles. I recall I was on this cancer walk the first lady saw me. And she called me and she was like, Aubrey, my husband says that I need some no photograph. My husband says that I need some no photographs. And he says to contact you. So I was like, okay then.
Wow.
You sure? No problem.
So you got a direct recommendation from the president.
I was like, wow, you know. And I planned a meeting with her to have an understanding of what she really needs and what have to be done, and how best could I apply my skill to making whatever was requested.
This wasn't just any photo shoot. It was historic for Guyana, as the last Guyanese First Lady to have an official portrait was Viola Burnham.
The only portrait that stand out to me for First Ladies is Viola Burnham. I love that photograph. And I think that every First Lady that goes into office should have an official portrait shoot done. Should. Because in America this is something big. Very big. And First Ladies from Trump, Obama, right up, have had their official portrait done. And I think we need that in Guyana as well too.
As a young entrepreneur, Odell had some suggestions for those considering a similar career path.
Practical tips I would give to upcoming photographers. What's more important is the person behind the camera. So it leaves up to you to perfect your gift, sharpen your skill, get better at what you do, and accept critiques, because that's going to make you aware that, hey, this could have been this way or that way.
Don't those pictures of the First Lady look beautiful? Be sure to log on to our Facebook page and let us know. And if you'd like to know more about the photographer and videographer, Aubrey Odell, be sure to check him out on Facebook at facebook.com/apro or at Instagram, apro. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, Jamaica's UCHENCE gang child begins, and after one-child policy ends, China pushes women to have more babies. But before that, here's this week's Bridge Attraction schedule.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Here now, I want to switch over to GTT right now, no. Because all this time and money I waste on a calls alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place. Really? Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen four can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news from the region. The trial of the UCHENCE gang in Jamaica begins today. The gang that was reportedly led by 27-year-old UCHENCE Wilson, and according to Jamaica Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation, UCHENCE gang extorted businesses and individuals to the tune of $400 million, and also was linked to at least 8 murders and several rapes, including that of a 12-year-old girl. TVJ's Kirk Wright reports.
The trial of members of the UCHENCE gang began today in the Home Circuit Court, and all 24 members of the gang pleaded not guilty to 53 counts of indictment brought against them by the Office of the Director of Prosecution. 2 police officers are also on trial for their involvement with the gang. TVJ's Kirk Wright was there and filed this report.
In court today, it took a while before all the 53 indictments were read out to the accused men and women, who all pleaded not guilty. The charges against the accused gang members include armed robberies, burglaries, break-ins, shootings, wounding, and other major crimes. Investigators accused the gang of being involved in car stealing and added that they stole more than $400 million in goods between January 1, 2015 and December 31st, 2017. It's alleged that in some instances, the gang members have raped some of their victims in front of their family members, and those who resisted were shot. At the start of the trial on Monday, Lloyd McFarlane, lead attorney for the alleged gang leader UCHENCE Wilson, objected to the new indictment presented in court today and asked the court for a day to look it over and talk to his client. He said he got the indictment 6 days before the trial and that his team did not get sufficient time to look it over and prepare a proper defense. Justice Brian Sykes objected and granted Mr. McFarlane only 45 minutes to look over the indictment so the trial could get on the way today as planned. UCHENCE Wilson and his gang members are charged under the anti-gang legislation. 2 policemen were also charged. One of the 2 was today freed of the charges under the anti-gang legislation, but he has been remanded and is to answer to other.
And in international news, 3 years after the end of the one-child policy, China is struggling to encourage women to have more children. One of the talking points at the annual parliamentary meeting will be a declining birth rate. With a shrinking workforce and aging population, analysts say China could be headed for a demographic disaster. Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu reports from Beijing.
Earlier this year, Beijing-based artist, who calls herself Alan, released a controversial online video. The personal ad wasn't put out in search of love or a job. It was a heartfelt plea for a sperm donor.
As I grow closer to being 30 years old, I still have no plan of getting married. So I was wondering if it's possible to have a child without getting married in China, and I realized it was still a very difficult thing.
In China, unmarried women are denied access to sperm banks and the process of in vitro fertilization, or IVF. The 27-year-old is writing to delegates attending the upcoming National People's Congress, asking them to change the law. She's hopeful, and with good reason. China is facing a demographic crisis. In 2018, its birth rate dropped to its lowest point in more than half a century. Around 15 million babies were born last year, 2 million fewer than the year before. If the trend continues, that could spell trouble for the economy.
If we keep having this very low fertility rate, in a macro sense, the whole nation will be doomed. The economic growth will stagnate, even stop. Innovation, investment, everything will shrink.
China's economic growth miracle of the past 40 years was largely powered by its large workforce. But many of those workers have now retired, and they're not being replaced.
China's population is aging fast. By the year 2030, about a quarter will be over the age of 60. And analysts are increasingly concerned that over the next few decades, there simply won't be enough workers to power the world's second largest economy.
China abandoned its 4-decade-long one-child policy 3 years ago, but many parents are refusing to have a second child. Kathy Zhao is one of them.
It's very expensive. If we had another kid, I'm not sure we could afford it. Although I know it would be good my son to have a younger brother or sister, so he wouldn't be so lonely.
Desperate to convince families to have more children, local governments are offering tax breaks and subsidies, as well as tightening access to abortion and divorce. But experts say it's not enough. They're hoping the Communist Party will put an end to birth limits altogether. But facing an economic slowdown and a drawn-out trade war with the US, Beijing has more pressing concerns. Still, Alan is confident the laws will soon change in her favor. Her quest to become a single mother continues. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast and Wednesday evening at 7 for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from your newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your home and do have a blessed evening.